Hi, good afternoon. I'm Tom Russell with Furniture Today, and I am here at the Stanley Furniture Plant in Binzung Province with Walter Blocker, the chairman of Stanley Furniture. Walter, thank you so much for taking this time to speak with us today.
Tom, it's great to see you. It's great that you could enjoy some warm weather in Vietnam, just like in High Point in April.
I was hoping it was not going to be too cold here when I got here.
Well, you know that we always have some lemonade and sweet tea ready for you.
That is just like home. Thank you. This is the next question. Overall number and size. This is basically one campus here that we're talking about. What is
acres?
Yeah. Or well, we do square meters or
square
feet.
Meters. So our facility is 5.5 hectares.
5.5 hectares.
It's 55,000 square meters.
55,000. Okay, thank you.
Which is about 600,000 square feet, I guess.
Yep. Excellent. All right, and the number of production workers currently here on campus? Do you know offhand?
In full operation, we're around 500. 500,
okay. And total number, that includes like executives and administrative management, type of?
I would say around 500. It's the reason why I'm not being exact is that we're phasing in. I mean,
okay.
We opened the factory in March. I mean, every day it's changing.
Yeah, so just
say 500 plus.
500 plus, okay. Now the capacity in containers per month, this is the total capacity that's available.
I would say in 2019, we're moving toward 100 containers a month.
Okay. So it's about, per month, okay, yep.
And 300 is in our current thing. You can see I have a big piece of land out there. I could be more.
Okay. Types of furniture produced, we've got bedroom, dining room, occasional, entertainment.
I would just say we're case goods.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I could look
at
some
upholstery.
Yeah, some upholstery too.
But that's because we do upholstered chairs for our dining and upholstered beds. But I'm moving into upholstery. We'll have that capability in coming months.
Yeah, that's going to be.
Stanley doesn't have upholstery.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, chairs, beds. So So now, what are some of the some of the solid wood species that you deal with here? This is maybe a more technical question for Richard, perhaps, or Adam or Tom. I could ask them, but I'm trying to get a sense of some of the key materials that you all work with. Obviously, veneers. You have solid parts that you have basically. I'm guessing they're machined outside the facility and brought in and assembled here.
Right. So let's push pause. Our best practice is buying American hardwoods.
Yep.
From sustainable sources.
Okay, I think that's fair. So American hardwoods from
sustainable source. Our best practice is buying American hardwoods from sustainable sources.
Yep. Okay. All right.
And the species of the woods vary.
Here's a ridiculous question in here. Number of years selling to the U.S. market, but you can see this is
95.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Percentage of sales that are export. This is it's essentially all the product right now is being shipped to Stanley, correct?
No.
So
we have so our company has distribution points in other markets besides the U.S., including China. Okay. Elsewhere in ASEAN, South America, Russia, and the Middle East.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so you're addressing the question of the percentage of sales to the U.S. market then. So percentage.
Our goal is that when our company turns 100. Now, remember, I'm different than everyone else you're talking to because most of the people you're talking to are
exactly.
manufacturers.
Yes, exactly.
And we're vertically integrated.
Right, exactly.
Our vision for the company is that when we celebrate our 100th anniversary in 2024, 50% of all of our business will be outside the U.S.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So
yes.
So our goal is to triple the size of our business in the U.S. Yet that growth will only make up 50% of the total company.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
And our primary new markets will be China and ASEAN.
Okay.
Where the fastest growing middle class and the largest and fastest growing middle class is now moving into homes and is decorating their homes in home fashion.
Yes, indeed. What about Russia? Is that a market that you see?
It is.
You want to mention?
We're selling to some things to Russia and Kazakhstan today. But
Middle East.
I'm trying to make Nebraska Furniture Mart happy.
Yeah. This is not the focus of this.
But that's where I want to take the company, and I want to do it like in the next 20 minutes, right? So
you're an aggressive businessman.
I mean, but unfortunately, not everyone can do it in 20 minutes.
Right. Well, this is great for this. I mean, I think I basically got what I need for that. But I thought it would be good for us to sit down and, I mean, I don't know. We were talking a little bit earlier, and this is not meant as a criticism. But when part of it was my stupidity too, because we're walking through the showroom at the April market, and there was a nice, beautiful console. It must have like a 95-inch console or something like that. A great big screen TV on it. We're walking past. Tom Tilley's bringing us through, and I'm so zoned out. I'm like, this is like the last showroom. This is late in the market. It's like we're there to cover the party, and Tom is giving us a tour, which is great because we always love seeing Stanley. Right. And my colleague and friend Powell Slaughter sees this big TV screen. He's like, whoa, what's this? Right. It was a video of the Vietnam plant. Right. If he didn't see it, I was so zoned out at that point in market, I would have probably missed it. Right. And I'm glad Powell was there because he noticed it, and Tom was like, oh, this is our, no, I think it was Richard that was there. Oh, this is our new Vietnam plant. Richard was on the tour too. What? You guys are just opening a Vietnam plant? We didn't know anything about it until that point. And we're like, why didn't you guys tell us about this? Why? I don't know if they wanted to keep it a secret or what, but it was for customers in the U.S. that are over here, big guys that are over here. They know what's happened or what was happening between Starwood and Stanley, I think, to a degree, where that relationship was coming to an end. So the question is, well, what's Stanley going to do? What? I mean, that was in my mind too, and what a great story to be able to tell. Yeah. I'm just curious.
Why it wasn't? Why
were you trying to keep it secret or what? I mean, I mean, it was on the video. It wasn't obviously a secret. It was just.
I had that video made.
Yeah, it was very well done.
And I brought it. And because I wanted to show that we're vertically integrated.
Yeah.
The whole, from the very beginning, my messaging for why I bought the company and why I could make a difference was vertical integration to have our own facility.
Yes.
But people sort of were like, oh, there's no way you can go build a factory. You don't know what you're doing. How are you going to do it? It's like, oh, I totally can.
You can, and so can Stanley, because they've got the background in that.
Yeah, we had a lot of people here. So, but right now, we have great new product. We have a great price. Our service is nowhere near where it needs to be. And so I am not spending a lot of time on PR.
Yeah. But you should though, because we could help tell your story.
No, I need your help with that. But I'm trying to, I don't want everyone to hate us.
Yeah.
And I've spent a lot of time out with dealers. I mean, I have crisscrossed the country, listening and talking, and everyone's polite, but they're trying to figure out who I am.
Yeah.
And what I want to be is someone who delivers.
Right.
So what we're doing is, first of all, I need to figure out how soon I can get the factory up and running, and it was fast, which is what I expected, because I'm very impatient. And you're going to walk through it. We're in production today.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk you through.
Okay.
Second is. Stanley, when I bought the company, Stanley had 850 active customers and like 2 top 100 retailers. There's something wrong with that.
Oh yes! Wow, really? Are you kidding me?
The business model that I inherited And I knew it, but I mean,
yeah.
I
didn't know that.
I flipped the thing around. I said I want to have like 70 amazing customers.
Yeah.
That are driving my business.
Right.
And we went from 2 top 10 retailers to 21.
Wow, in a
Very short period of time.
how many months is that? About like
Like in a
12
year.
months, a year.
But the problem is a lot of people bought, but we weren't able to flow product fast enough.
Yeah, I see.
We weren't able to flow product fast enough because there was a trade war, and because suddenly everyone wanted to work with everyone in Vietnam that couldn't even satisfy before they had the trade war and the demand.
So you wanted to get the service part down. You wanted to nail that, get that, yeah.
I need to have 10, 20, 30, 40 unbelievably satisfied customers. And not just say, whoever wants to buy our furniture can buy our furniture. No.
Yeah, right.
It's got to be
right.
like this.
Yes.
And you have no idea how frustrating it was for me to just knock that over the head of a 95-year-old company. It's like, because they were just used to, well, we have plenty of everything. We have 1 year supply in our warehouse. People can buy whatever they want. No, that's why these companies are all out of business. We're going to work with trusted partners that we can have long-term strategic relationships with and provide outstanding service. And when we have those people right, we can bolt on and add some decorations to our Christmas tree. But that is the tree. And that was a really tough thing for me to get through.
Wow.
And
So
that's where we are.
you bought this facility here, you got it up, got the equipment in, got it up and running. What can you this is a question, feel free to answer however you want. I asked Richard and he didn't say, he said no, he couldn't tell me. But that's okay, because he told me everything else I wanted to know. Can you tell me what type of investment this has been for Stanley to get this massive?
Sure. Well, I mean, this vertical integration on top of my purchasing the company, we see it as a $20 million investment.
Yeah. Okay. But that includes the purchase price of the company. No. This is $20 million is for the facility that we're at.
Equipment.
Okay.
Working
Land.
capital.
Yeah.
Raw material.
Equipment. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. So pretty sizable investment. How is it working out so far in this environment that we're in right now in the midst of this trade war? What's
I think we're perfectly positioned.
Okay.
Because we are in control. We are a brand owner that is vertically integrated and in control of its supply chain. And there are almost none like us. And we are vertically integrated in Vietnam, which is the most competitive place to manufacture high quality furniture in the world today, I believe. Second, we are very experienced Vietnam operators.
Yes.
And because I'm from Kentucky and I was one of the first 100 American companies to set up here in 1994, and I've had many different kinds of manufacturing experience, but I'm from Virginia, Kentucky, North Carolina. So we have a very clear way of reading those two cultures.
Yeah.
Third is that contract manufacturers are not aligned with their customers in terms of service and price. I eliminate that by having everything under one roof. And it means that it's easier for me to manufacture furniture because we're working together as a team from inception to sourcing to production scheduling to quality and delivery. It means there's just a lot less tension. It's much more efficient.
Sure. Has it been a challenge finding the right workers? I mean, in terms of we're in a tight labor market, competitive labor market, I should say, where, workers are being poached every day from different plants. How difficult was it to kind of get the production team that you have in place here now?
What you're saying is absolutely accurate. The labor market is tightening. It's tightening all the time, but that's the environment I've been living in for 25 years.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Second, we pay more because remember, I'm not selling price. I'm selling quality furniture. And because of my vertical integration and my margins, we're able to be a little more flexible. If this is another conflict. If I'm a brand owner and I go to a contract manufacturer and we agree to what's going to be produced over 12 months and the labor rate goes up and I can't control things, what am I going to do? I'm going to cut the quality, or I'm going to make it really hard on my people. I don't have that pressure.
Yeah.
And something else, I don't know if you saw when you pulled in, because you probably know where you're going, but on the corner of my lot there's a big American flag. Vietnamese want to work with American companies. We operate differently. We manage a process more efficiently, and we have better working conditions. So when people come to work here, they want to stay here. And you know, I employ thousands of people nationwide who follow those same values.
So what are some of the things that, in other words, the pay is obviously an important factor here. You see, you're competitive pay-wise relative to other industries, is what I hear you saying.
We're very competitive.
Yeah. And what about like benefits and things like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have there are other benefits. So then you say, well, Walter, that doesn't seem like a very efficient business model. But remember, we're not bringing in borax and spray painting it.
Right.
We have skilled workers. We also have a very efficient process so that the labor cost in relation to my finished product, it's not that big.
Right.
It's not a big issue for me. Labor rates could double and it doesn't ruin my day.
Yeah.
I mean, it does ruin my day, but you get my point.
I do. Well, so what? And I'm not asking for Stanley specific pay rates, but what is the kind of typical
10-15%.
Oh, okay.
Increase.
So
it's about 15% annual.
and yeah, I've heard that, but like per month, we've heard anywhere from like $330 up to $500.
That's where we are. We're in that range.
Yeah. So so if we say that the current going rate is between like $300 and $500 per month for a production worker, that's in the ballpark. It's a pretty wide spread, though.
It is. So but you know, we have different skill sets. Remember, we're not making white wood.
Right. Yeah.
We are assembling and finishing.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit higher skilled.
Yeah.
But then you still have a lot of sundry people.
Yeah.
I mean, when you walk through, you see all different skill sets.
Yes, indeed. Okay. And so what other challenges? I mean, how difficult has it been to kind of get the workers up to speed? I mean, when they hired these workers, did they, Stanley, basically look for people with experience in the industry, or how difficult was it to kind of get what you needed?
So the province, Binh Duen province, where we are today,
Yes.
is the highest velocity territory in Southeast Asia for quality furniture in Southeast Asia. I say territory, we would say province, but let's say territory or county territory.
And you used highest velocity?
Meaning that there's a tremendous volume coming from this province.
Yeah,
so you already have,
that makes sense, yeah.
You know, my forebears already trained a lot of workers here.
Yeah.
So we had a mass.
Yeah.
Second, you know, Stanley Furniture Company, 95-year-old American company operated by, you know, Walter Blocker, where we have a reputation for treating people well and doing things, you know, in a nice way. So that makes it easier to attract people.
Yeah, sure.
I think that, so that's sort of the frame. Ask your question again, because I had 3 layers of this. That's general.
I'm trying to think.
Was it hard to get the thing up and running? So the second thing is that Vietnamese
getting the right people.
Vietnamese education is perfectly aligned with this type of assembly.
Is it? Okay.
So,
Interesting.
So when we bring someone in, their education fits well with a clear process.
Yeah.
And then you have the Vietnamese culture. Very, very high quality worker.
Yeah.
Very high quality sense of morality and personal responsibility. And they want to learn, they want to understand, they want to do it well.
Yeah.
So in America, and I now own an American company, so I've reverse engineered a Vietnamese American guy going back to America. Everyone knows what to do. The trick is to motivate them to do what they already know. In Vietnam, it's the exact opposite. They're totally motivated to do it, but they don't know what to do. So if you can explain to them what to do, they will do it, and they will do it well.
Yeah, interesting. So the management here, I'm talking about like the line management, was that some people that Stanley already had on the ground through their offices here? In other words, so they had, I'm guessing that Stanley had a group of sophisticated, trained management to, when the workers came in, they'd have like good leadership to train them or to get them,
Right. So first, we know that the furniture industry hasn't changed that dramatically in 100 years. Making furniture is still labor intensive,
Yeah,
requires
right,
a lot of process
right,
on an
right.
assembly line.
Yeah.
Second, when I bought the company, I inherited a very large quality control team.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
Richard and Jerry Hall
Yeah.
and his quality control team, whose jobs were to go and work with 5 or 6 contract manufacturing facilities and try to get them to make the furniture the way that you're supposed to make it on time and with the right quality.
Yeah.
So
that was in place.
I bought all of that. I inherited that.
Yeah.
So now when you take that group and you say, we're going to do it and we're the owners, it's a piece of cake. What's amazing about Stanley Furniture Company and part of why I bought the company is its attention to detail for finish.
Yeah.
Stanley is about finish.
Yeah.
And finish requires superb management, superb consistency, and artisan.
Yeah.
And that's why the value of Stanley Furniture is so high at the price point, because that takes expert management.
Yeah. Indeed.
So Magnus and Ashley, spray paint out of here.
Yeah.
But when you go and you see what our people are doing,
Yeah.
man,
It's
amazing.
Yeah.
But doesn't necessarily cost more. It's just better management, better run, better design. And then that value passes back through to our customers.
Yes. So.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah.
The thing is so simple, it's amazing. But it's so difficult.
Any other challenges that have presented themselves that in this environment that you'd like to mention, or?
For me, because I really grew up here as a young entrepreneur at 25, starting my business. To me, all the challenges, all the things that happen, which are real and they're big, they don't faze me because I've already made all the mistakes.
So you've learned from all.
Believe me, I mean, I've made every mistake you can make. So this was the easiest part of the whole thing for me.
Wow.
The hardest part for me was, for buying the company, was really understanding how to deal with the 95-year-old traditions of Stanley 1.0 in the U.S. How we interface with a customer, how we design furniture, how we provide service, how we work together as a team outside of silos to achieve goals together instead of in fragmentation. And that was a big challenge. That continues to be, but we've made a lot of progress.
Yeah. Well, what's the outlook then for Vietnam? I mean, it seems like, look, when I was here the last time, which was about 6 years ago or so, I talked to somebody, I can't remember if it was Harvey Dondero or somebody in his type of position that was saying, well, I think Vietnam has another good 10 years. Maybe it was Charles Hsu of Holland House, another good 10 years. But, I mean, here we are in, 6 years later, and like Vietnam is the place where everybody seems to want to go, at least moving from China. It's like the biggest, it's been the most obvious place to migrate in all of Asia. And I mean, India can't do what Vietnam does yet. Indonesia doesn't really have the capacity. It's more smaller production runs. Malaysia's lower price point. I mean, so what's your thought about Vietnam and the future of Vietnam in the furniture business?
Right. So I think we look at it in a more broader context, context for working class labor in garment, in textile, in componentry, assembly, whatever. So we have 1.1 million young people entering the workforce every year.
Wow.
1.1 million.
Wow. That's significant.
And our population is 100 million, and it's a very young population.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So we have a platform here that's sizable. Second, the education in Vietnam and the Vietnamese work ethic means productivity will continue to improve.
Yeah.
The productivity in Vietnam is good today, but it is not great. And those who manage with a process and a system for continuous improvement will be able to get more productivity out of this workforce.
Wow.
And which is certainly the way we operate at Stanley. The third is that the government here is stable and prominent. Committed to education, stable and prominent, meaning that the laws and climate for investment and job creation are consistent.
Yeah.
So, and I guess the last thing on the furniture, because we touched on it before, I mean, furniture assembly really hasn't changed much in 50 years. I mean, you know it better than me, but I mean, sure, there's continuous improvement and other things, but I mean, it's still pretty much kind of the same. So it still remains labor intensive with detail. So for a company like Stanley that has a lot of detail, you know, it's hard for me to go, I can't take that and move it to another economy where the culture may not have the same attention to detail.
Yeah, yeah. Is there something you perceive as the biggest threat to Vietnam right now? I mean, what are your fears or concerns about Vietnam, if any?
So I think that cost is definitely a concern, but it's not just the labor cost and the labor shortage, it's also cost of land, cost of using inadequate or increasingly stressed infrastructure.
Yes, yes.
There's the cost of sourcing raw materials and other componentry in certain industries that have been dominated by China. So not every industry will be able to make the transition that furniture has because the componentry and raw material supply chain coming into those other industries, it will take a long time for them to make it work. But a lot of the componentry related to furniture is actually imported into China as well. Timber and veneers.
That's true, good point. And those are some of the highest cost materials next to labor.
Exactly. It's much higher than labor.
Yeah.
So I think that that not all industries will win. I think that furniture will have a long run here for those reasons.
Yeah, yeah.